is your life, so always be strong. Keep moving on. Your dreams will always come true. You'll get there if you believe. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. You're listening to Pastor Lanre Ajanaku.
Your dreams, you have to persist. Plans, you have to persist. Or do you even have a vision or goal to have your own business? And possibly you stepped out the first month, the second month, the third month. Possibly you have expected by your projection that by the second or third month you start making profit, or possibly you break even. And then the third month, nobody's even come knocking to ask you what business are you doing, or you just have a repeat customer and you're not breaking new ground. It's not a sign, it's not an indication that you should drop that business. It's not an indication. No, it isn't. It is just an indication that you should persist. It's a sign that you should persist. So it is very, very important. It's extremely important. Okay. Hallelujah. Yeah, are we there? It's an indication that you should persist. I hope I'm not trying. I hope this is not an indication that you should have a second wife or two wives. Amen. Now, when you're in a business and it's not just moving the way you want it to move, I bet you stay there. It takes time. Wealth creation, for instance, takes time. It takes time. Wealth creation, it's not just in a jiffy. It takes time. Any wealth creation or any fantastic dream that is just coming up so quickly, I tell you, you have to watch it. It may not be the best. There are times it moves so fast, if you have done your projection well. In fact, the ones that move so fast, it has been discovered that it has taken the person who is embarking on it to have taken several years of processing and thinking about it in the mind. So when you see it in the reality and it's moving so fast, it didn't start there. It actually started in the mindset. It actually started in the software. So it is very, very important for every one of us to know that it is important that we all have to persist. You just have to. Don't back out so quickly of that dream, of that plan that you placed and you set ahead of you at the beginning of this year. Don't. You know, I personally, what I've done, because I know that is also very important. At the beginning of this year, I went to Staples and I went to get a board. Just a board. And I put it in my room. Now all my dreams, all my desires, all things that where I intend to get to, I now put them and I stuck them to the board. All the programs that we have, I stuck to each of the flyers, I stuck it to the board. Now as I wake up every morning and I go to that board and I look at it, whether consciously or unconsciously, it's getting to my subconscious. It keeps me on. And I want to encourage every one of us. Go get something like that. Whatever you desire. Get a picture of it. Get a board. Paste it. Put it near your bed. Put it near your mirror. You wake up in the morning, you look at it. You want to go to bed, you look at it. As much as you look at it, as long as you see it regularly, you realize that this goes into your subconscious. And you realize that unconsciously you begin to live it. Now, I want us also to know that the way the world is created, the world is created in such a way that we attract what we see and enters into our subconscious. Even if you don't have the capacity at the time that it's being put there, every day as you see it and you are thinking about it, you attract it to yourself. Your process, the way the world is, or the way the universe is created, and the God of the universe has created the universe, is that you attract to yourself those the major thoughts, the prominent thoughts that comes to you. And how do you get those thoughts? It's by the things we see. It's by the things you see. That's why it's very important, if you are going to a journey, make up your mind not to see things that will point a picture of failure to where you are going to. Once you have such pictures of failure, I bet you it's a matter of time you will fail. So you have to take that picture away from you and place the picture of success right in front of you and see it every day. And I want you to try it. Possibly you're having a challenge in your business. Go get a picture of a successful business that you have seen, that is a pattern of your business. Paste it somewhere. Look at it every day. Speak to it. This is where I'm going to. Possibly you want to be financially empowered. When I talk of financially empowered now, a particular amount you want in your bank account. You say, okay, by the end of this year, I want to have XYZ amount in my account. Possibly a savings on Kimber. What do? I want to encourage you. Go get a checkbook. Just one piece. Write the amount. Where you can pay, write your name. Put the amount there. Paste it. Now, every day as you see it, don't lose sight of it. Every day as you see it, stay there a little bit. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes in a week. 2 minutes in a week. Focus on it and start thinking, how can I make this amount to exist in my account unencumbered? You realize that your mind opens up. Ideas flows to you. That vision begins to reproduce itself. But immediately you look at it and say, oh, this amount, it's not possible to have this. You realize that it becomes impossible as well. Even if it is your health. Take a picture of a healthy person, possibly jogging or doing exercise. Paste it somewhere. Look at it every day. I have good health. That is me. As long as you can see. That's why God had to tell Abraham to come out when he was going to bless him and say, look at the stars. God had to make him to see those things for him to have it on the inside. Whatever you cannot see, you cannot really see it materialize. So paste things that you see. Decorate it, put it there. Look at it every day. And you realize that without much ado, you're going to have it. Are you there? Amen. Amen. Now, what do I do then to have a great habit? And what do I do then? Habit of persistent people. And you know one thing? Before I jump to that, before I go ahead of myself, what must I, talking of this persisting, I have to persist in my business, persisting in my goals. But do you know also that it's also very important for every one of us to also persist in following hard after God. If we don't persist in following hard after God, we realize that we will miss it. Let me give an example. I know many of us, we have bought equipment at one time or the other, a product which you have taken to your house, and you actually needed to assemble it. I remember then we got a chest, it's like a cabinet in our room, and it was stacked. We brought it in the box. I had to sit down to assemble it. Whoa! Took the manual, and one after the other started. When we started off, it looked so ugly. It didn't look fine. But as we continued, I realized that I began to take shape. Now, for everyone that is seated here, you're a product, and there is a manufacturer. And your manufacturer is God. So, for your product to be assembled well, you actually need to go back to the manual. Because for you to run your life well, you need to get to that manual. So, if you make up your mind and say, well, I don't care, I don't want to use this manual. For example, If I made up my mind I was not going to use the manual to assemble the chest, I tell you sincerely, I would never be able to do it. In fact, it got to a time, there was a particular screw that had to be a metal that ought to be in a specific place that will hold up the weight of the chest. I didn't use it. I used the plastic. Immediately, the weight of the cabinet was coming on it. I began to see that this thing is going to give way. But the plastic, I don't know if anyone of us have experienced, the plastic screw was exactly the same as the screw that is metal, iron. But I misplaced it in the wrong place. So when I now went back to the manual, I looked at it. It's the same thing. And I realized that the metal one ought to be in that very, very place. So I removed the plastic, I put back the metal, and that was it. As small as that plastic screw is, it had a major role to play in the success of that chest. And that's the way it is. When we neglect God, we realize that we miss it. Then we realize that we miss it. And I want to tell you sincerely, following hard after God, persisting after God, is not something that it's not a one-off thing. It's a lifetime journey. It's a marathon journey. It's a lifetime journey. So, what does it entail to follow hard after God? The first major thing to follow hard after God is you have to realize that you can't do it on your own. I can't do it on my own. And that reminds me of a story of twins, of a twin friend, twin brothers, perfectly identical twin. The first, one of the twin, happened to live a wayward life, horrible life. And the other one happened to be someone who lived a very upright life, ran his life according to the manual. So the one that lived a wayward life went partying one of the days. And right at the party, somebody spoke to her girlfriend, and he's a jealous type and was very angry. Unfortunately, he fought, and the person he fought with died. So he ran home. So on getting home, people knew exactly where he went. So on getting home, he ran, he met his other twin brother, and the other twin brother said, "What's happening?" And he told him straight, "I messed up, I screwed up. I was fighting, and the person I was fighting with dropped dead." He said, "What? You mean?" But while he was fighting, he had stains of blood on his clothes. And the other one knew in him. So he said, "So what's going to happen?" Shortly after that, cops came and all, and they wanted to arrest him. Now this twin of the other brother, who lived a good life, who had known God, he looked at him and said, "Well, the law of this land says it's a capital punishment. Once you kill somebody, you have to be killed as well." And he looked at his brother and said, "If you die in this state, I know you don't follow God. I know you go to hell." So he said to his brother, "I'm going to redeem you." So he told him, "Bring the clothes that you wore, was stained with blood." So he took it on him. And the other one, his own clothes, he gave it to him. And when cops came, police came, banged the door, entered, and they found him with stains of blood on his clothes. So that's him. And remember, they're identical twins, extremely identical twins. That's him. And they took him. He looked at his brother's face and looked at him closely. He thought his brother was going to deny it. "Oh no, it's not me, that's him." He looked at his face, he was literally, vividly shaking. And his brother looked at him, and the police took him off. The long and short of the story, he was charged to court, and in that country, once you kill, it's a capital punishment. And they told him, you have to die you also have to be killed. He was in court the day the judgment was being given, and he was sitting just at the adjacent. His brother was righteous, was in front of the court. The original criminal was there. So he looked at it and he just said, "Well, at this point, there's nothing we can do. You're going to die by hanging." Maybe it was pronounced. He was still sitting there looking at his brother, maybe he was going to break. He looked at his brother and they looked at each other. And they took him away. And he didn't say a word. After he left the court, as they took his brother away, he wept. So, at the point where they were going to kill him, his brother now went to him, and he looked into his brother's face. So, I've taken this decision because I know if you die today, you go to hell. But I decided to take this decision because I know if I go now, I know where I'm going to. But I'm giving you the second chance, a new life. Turn so that you can meet me up there. He wept, they both wept, hugged each other, and left. And he went and died. Now you may say, what kind of a love is this? What kind of a persistent love is this? What kind of a reckless love is this? But I tell you sincerely, that's exactly the story of Jesus. He didn't commit any sin. But he just took it up. Now what has he done? He took our own garments of unrighteousness. He took it upon himself, and he took his own clothes of purity and gave it to us. So that means making it to heaven or knowing God has nothing to do with with your good deeds. No. It's has nothing to do with your good deeds. You first and foremost must take that cloth. That's when your good deeds may now become relevant. Now, how many of us are persistent in working with God? How many of us have had that second chance of our twin brother, Jesus, who has taken our position? Possibly at the end of this talk, at the end of this teaching, I'll give you the opportunity, anyone who wants to take on that garment, so that you will not die the second death. Now, what is the habit of a persistent people? Number one, for you to be persistent and to live a persistent life, you must have a strong vision. You must be consumed with your vision. Your vision must be backed up with goals. You must have a focus. You must have a dream. You must have a strong vision. Like I said, put that vision, whatever, write it, put it on the board in your room. Every morning when you wake up, look at it. Don't take it for granted. Oh, I've just written something and I've forgotten. No. Look at it. That check, look at it. The picture, look at it. Put it on the board. Take things to mind. Let it be that this vision is what you see the last thing when you are going to bed, and it's the first thing you see when you get out of bed. Let it be so much on you. You must have a strong vision for you to be persistent. Number two, for you to be persistent, you must have strong habits. You must make and have strong habits. Now, your thoughts eventually produces your action. Your action, regular action, produces your habit. Now, regular habits produces a lifestyle. And then a regular lifestyle produces a destiny. You end up being what you think of. You end up being those things. But what's the starting point? It's your thoughts. That's why I have to talk to you about your thoughts. Your thoughts. You have to persist in thinking right. Think the right thoughts. How do you know if you are having the right thoughts? You know what your that you're having the right thoughts by the way you feel. Your feeling is a reflection of your thoughts. If you suddenly realize that you are fearful, check what you are thinking about. It must be what it was. And what do you quickly do? You replace it with the right thoughts. Don't ever allow the wrong thought to stay, because the wrong thought will eventually produce the wrong action, and regular wrong action will eventually produce what? Will produce what? I want to know you are following me. A wrong habit. A wrong habit eventually produce what? A wrong lifestyle. And the wrong lifestyle will eventually produce what? A wrong destiny, wrong destination. It's simple. So your feeling is a reflection of your thoughts. Your feeling is a reflection of your thoughts. I hear people say, oh, I feel I'm stranded. Stop thinking stranded. No, replace it immediately. Now, you may be in a business, and once you are doing that business, it's like, oh, it's not moving. Should I pack it up? No. Stop thinking about that. Replace it with the right thought. As a marketer, it's like, oh, this month I've not met my target. Will I ever meet my target? Replace it with the right thought, because your thoughts is what you attract. That's why the scripture, the Bible says, our God is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you're able to ask or think. Another version says, or imagine. Whatever you imagine, you attract to yourself. You attract to yourself. Whatever you think of intensely, you attract to yourself. So be obsessed with the right thoughts. Don't entertain the wrong. As long as you don't entertain the wrong thoughts, you will eventually get there.
Take dominion on all God's creations. Never give up. Your destiny's your life. So always be strong. Keep moving on. Your dreams will always come true. You'll get there if you believe. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. You're listening to Pastor Lanre Ajanaku